How you all doing? It's Thursday. You know what that means. Let's do it. The usual suspects in the house. Good to see you all. Hope you're all well. Very sculptural model today. She's this model pack is something called like Twisting Poses, and it lives up to its reputation. Some very, some interesting challenges ahead of us. Okay, let's get cracking. It's cooled down here and it's raining today. There's like a mist in the air, and if you didn't know any better, you would swear it was February. Good times. Okay, first pose. Let's do this. Sorry, just I'm going to assume everything's working and in business. Let me know if that's not the case. It looks like you're all with me. Okay, I'm going to start the timer. I'm not sure what the timer even means anymore these days, but we'll start it out of tradition. You know, we'll aim for the usual, somewhere in the 15-minute mark. Coffee right now, then we'll get to the tea. It's really hard, like, you know, there's so much business with this model. Really hard to know where to even, what to focus on, or what it is that we want to highlight. Very, very sculptural. The lighting's not hurting either. It's really adding to that sculptural kind of energy. In the spirit that these are twisting poses, I'm going to be trying to draw it in a twisty way. So I'm really going to push that center line moving in this direction and then kind of coming around this way. You know, I forget who it was who asked, but you know, how do we avoid the stiffness in our drawing, or what can we do to help mitigate that? And it may not feel like it, at least at this point, but I feel like I'm pushing just a little bit further than the pose. And that will hopefully, you know, help maintain the freshness and the rhythm and vitality in the pose. That's the idea anyway. Knees sitting about there. Look at the way that rhythmically that calf then shoots down that way. Oh, by the way, yeah, Tina, you're very welcome for Monday's stream. That was fun. I think at least, you know, it's a funny thing because in some ways summers are always the quietest time for the streams. I guess with people being away and summer vacation and all of that. But I do feel inspired to maybe do the 2 streams a week for the next few weeks at least. Even though strategically, timing-wise, there's probably better times, but I have to go with what feels right. Okay, we got the latissimus coming down this way. Really going to get a sense of that scapular latissimus sitting in there, and then the deltoid coming up here. It's a tough first pose. Gonna rather get a warm-up. This is the warm-up. What do you mean, Rick? This is like, you know, we always pick a a straightforward front pose to break us in gently. That's all this is. No, it is. You're right. It's even though it's a standing pose, yeah, there's quite a lot going on, isn't there? Oblique on each side. You can really see the mass of that oblique sitting right there. She has, like, I don't know what her body fat percentage would be. It's got to be, can't be any more than 10% tops. So there is really no fat pad, but we still have compression, even if it's just muscular compression. You can see that tensor fascia latae really clearly here, in large part thanks to the lighting, sitting in this region here, and then that rectus femoris coming down this way, sitting in there. Gluteus sitting in here, and then the muscle coming down, and then got that iliotibial tract. Something like so. Yeah, well, we've got some challenges ahead today with all of these poses. That's the one thing, if there is a theme, it is the twisty nature. Is kind of going here. Deltoid sitting there. Mass of that tricep coming to the elbow, sitting here. And then this arm, head of the humerus, kind of coming down in this direction, and then it's meeting up here. Something like that. Okay, let's get some the abdominal wall. Maybe I've undercooked the amount of compression. I think so. I think I need to lower this arm a little bit. Down to about here. Alright, that'll work. We'll fix that in post. you know, with the two light sources, there is a lot going on with, there is a temptation, or there could be an inclination to overdraw here. I'm going to focus primarily on the dominant light source, right, coming from this direction. I'm going to use the second light source. I'm going to tone all of that down just as if it's more like a reflected light pass, because, you know, you're just going to be asking for trouble trying to hit both these light sources to the same degree, or to the amount that's on the reference. Okay, let's get cracking. Tricep. And we can see some of that brachial muscle sitting right there. Here's a difference there. It's subtle, but manubrium, sternocleidomastoid coming from the manubrium. Trapezius. And then we're going to meet with that clavicle that's coming across this way. And we're transitioning into our deltoid. We're sitting there. We'll tidy this up a little bit as we go. So pectoral muscle coming down this way. Brachialis sitting in there, and then bicep. Okay, let's find our rib cage. And then, yeah, this oblique. Let's come across this side. You can really see from that ASIS, which on her left side, which is so really clear. Look at the way that iliac crest wraps around the form there. Like, I can't give you guys any clearer reference on that, of what's going on. It's like, you know. Beautiful. Models like this, they really do, well, they present an absolute challenge, but you know, as far as understanding clarity of anatomy, it doesn't get much better than this. So we come from here, as we come around here, look at the crease for inner thigh, so it starts right here, at rectus femoris. And we're coming down. Business of the knee. Okay. Richard, do you need a mod for your Twitch chat? I could delete spam bots if you like. If you like, can't promise much else. Do we have? Oh, is that a spam bot? We have a right above your comment, Lulu. I'm guessing. By all means, I will need to figure out how to do that. But that would be great. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Although, you know, Twitch is a funny one because there's hardly anyone over there. All right, let's see what's going on here. Do not click on that link no matter what you do. No, thanks. It's trying to sell you viewers, I think. Thanks, Dusty, for the heads up. Yeah, look, I know enough to not... I know enough to not click those links. Hold on just 1 second. Sorry, folks. I'm going to just see if I can... Hey Lulu, just confirm for me, is the Mega Explosion Man, that's you, right, Lulu? Just confirm that, and I will see how to make you a mod. I can pin your message. Let's see. So that was the Dan. It's giving me options to pin or reply. I don't see. Oh, you know what? Maybe. Sorry, folks. Let's see. Invite. No, this is not the time to be doing this, is it? I have no idea how to make you a mod right now. I'm gonna have to figure it out. I don't have the bandwidth to mentally to figure that out now. I'll just leave it. Need to focus on the drawing. But I will. You know. You should be able to click on someone's name though and just have the option to make them a mod right there and then. I don't understand why it wouldn't. Why it wouldn't do that. All right. Just finding a few core shadows. I'm probably not going to make a tonal pass on this, but I do want I do want to use these core shadows to help describe form. Margarita became a member. Awesome. Welcome, Margarita. You will find a link to the reference in the community chat page. And you'll be able to find the reference on my website and draw along. Something with a bit more tempo. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave this one pretty much there. Just a little bit of cleanup. What a fun pose to draw. She's a treat. Just tidy that up just a little bit. Something like that. A mod or a rocker. Ringo. You know, Ringo's a character. Okay, let's move on. Really enjoying this one. Sirocco says, yeah, right? Yeah, she's good. She's good, all right. Okay, next pose. Let's have a look. Oh, this next pose, they're all going to be a challenge. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. All right. Coffee. A lot of interesting ideas. Yep. Okay. Let's do it. There is an interesting mix of kind of tranquility and dynamics in this pose. Just really lovely. Let's find our center line. Something like that. Manubrium sitting about here, clavicle coming up this way, head of the humerus, this arm is coming down here, and then coming across the form here. Wrist is about here, coming down to our hand, sitting about there, give or take. Manubrium sternum, arch of the rib cage, sitting about here. Something like that. See the navel just peeking out right there. We know the iliac crest, even though it's a little bit obscured, we can see just the point of the acis about it here. That iliac crest is going to be going that way. And then we're coming down, inguinal ligament, coming down this way, down to the pubic bone about here. So that all adds up. That makes sense. This leg here, she's actually coming towards us slightly. Really don't neglect to understand as soon as possible within the process what direction the form is pointing. And that sounds like a really obvious thing, and you'd be like, yeah, no kidding, man. But you know what? It's so easy. It's just, you know, a quick line like this to just indicate direction will help organize your thoughts so much more than can be sometimes initially apparent. Coming around the form, we can see the buttock there, gluteus, and then we're coming around, bringing our volume around this way, so that all that kind of adds up. Okay, we can see the buttock coming from around the form this way. Just get a glimpse of it, but it helps us seat this leg, which is coming out here to about here and coming swinging back. And we can just use the pubic bone and the bottom of the pelvis here, and we can see the heel of her foot sitting here. So that's a really handy, quick measuring device. Just keeps us on track. This leg is kind of going in this direction. It's a little more subtle than this one. Calf is sitting about here. Achilles sitting there. That'll do for now. That foot and then the toes sitting there. Good. It's starting to make me wonder if I've got maybe this stuff is longer down to about here. This is a really good time to pause just for a second and to look at the overall relationship between the amount of volume you have here and the amount of volume generally you have down here, because it can be so easy to draw these legs too small relative to the torso. Then you get, it's so easy, especially when you're drawing like this, to just kind of get, you know, tunnel visioned, and then you step back and you go, oh, my legs are tiny. Now's the time to adjust. And I might say, okay, well, you know, real estate wise, I like that. Maybe I'm a little tall here. Maybe I want to pull down to about here. Yeah, I think that could work. Because she's got a very long neck on her here. It feels long, at least. It's coming this way. Center line's here. Her ear is actually about here, right? Yeah, that might be where we want to do things. So pectoral coming down this way, and then into the volume of the breast sitting in here. Maybe something like that. I might pull this up actually just a tiny bit. Yeah, we can fix that in a minute. My camera is no, thank you for the comment about the legs. I'm telling you, it's so easy. As I said, you kind of get tunnel visioned. If there's any advantage to working on an easel, and I strongly don't recommend it, but if there is any advantage over working like this, it's the ability to step back easily and look at how things relate to each other. Especially for me, working the way I am here, it's not so easy for me to step back. And it is, you can, you know, if you're not careful, you can fall into that trap. If we just look at what the light is doing with her left breast, look at the kind of volume, like, you know, you've got the pectoral kind of coming down this way, but look at the actual volume. Center line is here of the actual kind of the volume of the breast itself. We got this lovely kind of almost like a teardrop shape. It's not quite, but it's not just a sack. You know what I mean? Like, look, I look for little opportunities like this because I think that they really help bring, they can help bring dynamics and visual interest. Look at this. Even our super lean model, she's got that fat pad sitting in here. You know I like that fat pad. It's one of my favorites. Deltoid. Deltoid actually sitting this whole area here. Tricep. Finger coming down this one. So all sits about right. It's going to be about there. I may tweak this, but I just want to get something solid for this arm. So then we've got the ridge of the knuckles here. So we got the index finger sitting here. I'm going to treat the two middle fingers as a single unit because that tends to work best, in my opinion. So we can think about those two sitting there. And then the pinky can be independent, sitting in here. Something like that. At least for now, that will do. Wow, this music took a turn in direction, didn't it? Wow, okay. I don't hate it. Okay, we got sternocleidomastoid coming in this direction up to the ear. Then we've got trapezius sitting about here. And that's coming up this way. Our occipital ridge sitting about here, and then we've got the head coming up. She's got this thing on top of her head there. Okay. Something like that, and then we can see there's a little hint of that deltoid in the upper arm sitting in there. That's actually going to help. All of this is going to help bring clarity to this whole area as we tie down. Okay, and then this arm. Ridge of the knuckles sitting about here. Let's see this forearm sitting in here. Something like that. Abdominal. Okay. Exactly, yeah. It's well, the music has range. You're going to be figure drawing at Jiffy Lube. I don't know, Rick. That could get you in some trouble. As we know, people have a hard time, it seems, making the distinction about different types of nudity. Okay, I think everything for the most part is kind of in the right place. Will there be some tweaking? Of course. But generally speaking, I think things are mostly in the right place. So the question is where to start. I think it's all much of a muchness. Something makes me want to find clarity in this area here, but I know that I'll probably have a better sense of that after I deal with this, because I think this is clearer. So I'm going to start over here. But once again, mileage may vary, and depending on what your process is getting to this point, there may be very good reason for you to start tying down or giving clarity to your drawing from a different point. It depends kind of what your process and your experience was getting to here, if that makes sense. Bicep, little fat pad, boom. Okay, let's come across here. Something like that. Hemant, well, look at that. How you doing, Hemant? Where have you been? Hope you're well. Okay, let's just gonna thin up that wrist just a tiny bit, something like that. And I'm gonna quickly clean my hand. Okay. Okay, so I think even at this point I can move over to this side with a bit more confidence. I feel like that's helped bring some clarity. So let's go from the abdominal here, and we'll just find, all right, there's where we meet with the rib cage, boom. And then we're coming in this way, something like that. Excuse me, okay. Something like that. Let's find a bit more the mass here before we then meet up with the pectoral, which is sitting about here, and then going up that way, something like that. Okay. So, coming from our center line, let's not misalign this, her left breast. I think I actually need to pull over just a tiny bit because my center line's here. It is, for all intents and purposes, the kind of like where we want to have our attachment point. So I'm actually pulling over to about here, and consequently we'll be pulling, so pectorals coming this way. I think we can afford to pull over this way. Okay. Navel. So let's pop over here, coming down. Can't see it, but the kind of the mass of the oblique sitting in here, and then we're coming down this way, meeting up with the glute sitting in there. Okay. So yeah, just coming down. Can't see it. Iliac crest though we know is sitting about here, right? So the oblique is actually coming off here. And then we're coming down. And then we've got this transition. Somewhere in there. Tricky transition in here, you know, like oftentimes the leg attachment will feel a little bit more harmonious, for want of a better word, but this, we do have to deal with these types of angles occasionally, or these types of views. So that's good. Good practice. We see the rectus femoris coming across here, and actually kind of like this foot is sitting on the thigh here. Another new member during the stream. Paul, welcome. Hope you're well. Hit the community chat. You'll find a link on my website to the reference images, and you can draw along. Good to have you here. Okay, coming down to our knee. It's going to be sitting in there. And look at the way that the light and tone gives us such a clear idea about the edge of the form. Got a very box-like structure down here at the knee. We talk about all the time how the joints tend to be very box-like. Also, look at the, you know, as we come down this way, look how we're actually wider here. We're wider down here than we are kind of in the middle here. I haven't quite managed to show that as nicely as I would like. But just to try and be mindful of our shape language. Yeah, I wish I'd pulled that a little more, but it's okay. Heel. Sitting in there. Yeah, there we go. And pull out here. For now. All right, let's see here. So we've got this. Once again, it's obscured, but we can see our origin of the leg attachment is here. Okay. If we look at our widest point here, I think maybe I could have come out to about here. Do I want to pull out the eraser? No. We'll just use our finger there. Then from the widest point here, just kind of thinking about how this is there, and then the crease for the calf, which starts about here, And we've got lovely, I'm going to call it a teardrop shape, but I'm not sure that aptly describes what's going on with the calf there. But you can see, look at the way that we can see from the light, just the overall kind of shape sitting in there. Lovely. And look at this coming towards us, and that calf muscle meeting up with the Achilles tendon. Okay. Aerodynamic everything, Lulu. It's kind of crazy, right? Yannicka, how you doing? Yeah, she's just very sculptural. We are way longer on this pose than I thought, but I think we'll all agree it's worth it. I'm just going to take a minute to do a tiny bit of cleanup here, and then I'm going to just go in and hit some core shadows. Once again, thinking I'm keeping primarily diagrammatical with these poses, just because there's so much going on with the anatomy and that, they just seem to lend themselves to the diagrammatical approach. But we will use the core shadows. So we're kind of getting the best of both worlds, you know what I mean? All right, just a bit of cleanup. Might even be able to push and pull a little bit of tone inside the form just with the material that's already on the page, right? We won't add any more. And yeah, so I'm going to some degree, I'm going to follow what's going on with the lighting parts. I'm also going to cheat just a little bit just to help, hopefully brings prescribed form. Excuse me. Okay. Shadow. Well, we've got the shadow from the shoulder, from the deltoid sitting there. So my point being, when I said I was going to cheat a little, is that I'm going to actually I'm pulling another cast shadow in here, where really this whole section is in tone. But once again, as I'm not going into a tonal drawing and I'm using the core shadow as kind of a diagrammatical kind of function, I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit. I think it'll be fine. It'll be okay. Cast shadow coming off the form here, and once again very box-like structure for the knee. You're very welcome, Mila. Glad you're digging them. Not easy. Then again, if we were looking for easy, would any of us have picked figure drawing for a pursuit? Probably not. Yeah. I think I'm going to probably call it here. Seems like as good a place as any. Little bit ever so slightly muddy, but let's see. Let's just, okay. All right, I'll put in a little bit of tone. I think it might help just the read. Yeah, it probably helps. Just bring a little bit of clarity. Good stuff. All right. I think we'll call it 33 minutes. Yikes. And that isn't the slowest pose of the session. The mic is a problem, is it? The mic is exactly as it normally is. I don't know. Hopefully it's Excuse me, hopefully it's okay. Yeah, I do think in the interest of this not being a 4-hour stream, we may need to speed up a little. Okay, so now we have a standing back pose. For those of you who have the reference, you can see that. Then just as we look forward into the future, then we've got 2 lying poses, which these things could very easily really eat into time. So I think with this back pose, it's a nice little palette cleanser from that last one, but we might try and move a little quicker on this one. You're still getting a noise, huh? Nothing has changed here. I'm not sure. Hey Beater, how you doing? I don't know, the mic is not doing anything different to what it normally does, so if it's making a noise, hold on. Turned it on and off again. Does that help? Probably not. All right, I need a new pencil. I need a sip of coffee. All right, we're going to try and make an attempt at least to try and keep this next pose to like in the 15-minute mark or quicker. Anyway, let's aim for that. Actually helped. Okay, well, hopefully it stays helped, because usually when you say something like that, immediately it comes back. Let's see. Okay. Shoulders. You know, I have this little lapel mic, you call them, right? And that thing takes a tiny little battery, like a hearing aid type battery. And it's lasted a long time. And so it could be that it needs a fresh battery. I don't know. Look at these legs. Fantastic. Not really going to be drawing them below the... Maybe I should. Because the way those legs are making contact with the ground is quite insane. Let's see, we'll pull up the pelvis a little bit. See if we can leave some room for these legs. Occipital ridge is going to be sitting about there, right? Trapezius coming down this way, head of the humerus, elbow, arm going up that way. And it's back, huh? Do you want me to change the battery on the thing? Shall I try it? Is it bad? Let me know. I can try changing the battery. It might just help. Oh, let's do that quickly. It'll only take a second. All right. That may or may not have helped. All right. Scapula. If that didn't help, then we will be living with it. Maybe permanently. Look at the sacral dimples. You're not going to get them any clearer than that. Iliac crest. Gluteus. And we've got the sacral dimples, and then some very intense lower lumbar muscles, and then there's some kind of interesting compression and all kinds of business going on. We will try and bring a little bit of clarity to that. Let's see what happens. Lovely ideas going on there. You can see they're very soft, oblique on this side, coming down this way, and then meeting up with that gluteus, kind of coming down this way, and then we got the hip, and we got this leg going away from us slightly. They're actually kind of both going away from us, this one more so. Well, I need to be careful here. Rib cage. Scapular deltoid. I'm going to pull that down just a tiny bit there. You don't have your voice. I don't have your voice, Sarah. My voice is available. If you don't have it, it might be on your end, possibly. Or did my voice just disappear? We can try something. Tell me if this helps. This is either going to be a terrible idea or this is going to be for the future. I'm going to try putting the mic clipped to the board. The fear with this is that you're going to get too much. Actually, let me see. Maybe this will be better. Let me know, because you know we're on this whole microphone adventure now. So let me know if that's any better. Or I could just stop talking. How about that? Yeah, you're funny, Lulu. Hilarious. Noise is gone for now. Alright, thanks for ruining it, lady. Now, let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Better now. Oh, now Doug pipes up. I see what's going on here. Hope you're doing well, Doug. All right, this is a long pose. I mean in length, not in time. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Now, once again, this is, you know, in the spirit of standing back for a moment and just checking proportion. And then this leg is down here. This calf coming towards us. Yeah, feet are going to go slightly off the page, not to worry. I wanted to wait until everyone else gave their troubleshooting opinion. Well, I appreciate that. Let the others have their say, and then come in with the business. All right, I'm going to start to tie down. Because as I said, like 15 might be optimistic for this, but we certainly can't go 33. Look at this lovely shape to the way her arm is compressed. Kind of got this going on. Something like that. I haven't even really done it justice. It's even kind of more exaggerated than that. Lovely. All right, so we come rib cage, oblique, iliac crest, coming down to the widest part of the hip there, and then like that, something like that. And we've got our rib cage, scapular deltoid coming up that way. definitely, whenever I get these back poses, I absolutely find it so useful to get in these core shadows. Especially for the gluteus around this area, it seems to just make such a difference. Calf coming down like so. Core shadow. A lot of business going on with these two hands here. I'm hoping there's just an opportunity to simplify because it's just too busy. Well, that's not what I meant by simplifying it, by wrecking it, but yeah. Let's see. So I'm going to have a cast shadow sitting in here. Once again, we're going to do a little bit of cheaty with the light source. Right, we're at 17 minutes, so I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes just massaging, and then we'll get out of here. This pose looks simple. How is it this difficult to draw? I was just about to say the same thing, you know, it's like we make our bread and butter knocking these types of poses out the park, and then you get one like this and you're like, oh yeah, this will be the easy relaxing pose, and it's like the pose is like, no, relax there with the self-confidence. You see, I'm kind of, once again, I'm kind of ignoring the light source coming from our left. just to try and help simplify a little bit. All right. All right, we'll move on. Yeah, that was a tough one. There is some very, maybe none of us have quite captured it, although I can only speak for myself, but there's some very subtle transferences of energy, if that makes sense, in a very subtle way to what's going on here into the hips, and then down into the feet and down to the legs. Deceptive pose, let's say. Quite tricky, all right. But a very interesting challenge nonetheless. Okay, talking about tricky and talking about a challenge, this next pose is like, hold my beer. We will move to landscape. Let's just get this all set up. We'll move this over here. Oh, look at that. Almost like it was meant to happen. Okay, clean my hand. What can I say, guys? We're all on our own on this one. It's like, if you got them, smoke them. This is going to be ridiculous. I'm not sure, because we're already at 6:24 UK time. So we have roughly about 35 minutes left. We could quite conceivably end up spending 35 minutes on this pose. If we do, and you know we go in with best intentions, like, oh, 20 minutes, and then it's like, oh yeah, relax. I'm almost tempted to save these other two poses. I will leave them up in the interest of those who want to do the full set, but I always feel like we may end up, at least with one of these other poses, revisiting, because there's so much more of this model that I'd like to draw. I'm almost tempted at this point to say we'll skip the next pose, and maybe we'll hit the last pose as a 5-minute, although it really doesn't do it justice. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's do the next pose. Start there. Then we can figure out what's next. Let's get a fresh pencil. All right. Scirocco says, let's go. Let's go. You're right. Yeah, look at that scapula. That thing is, talk about I can't, what's, a scapula, what? Why am I losing my mind? Scapula. Yeah, the knife. Okay, sorry. All right, I was having a moment. I want to try and get this whole pose on the page. That's going to be my goal, if nothing else. Scalpel. Thank you. Scapula, scalpel. Okay. Rib cage. Sitting in here, coming down, pelvis sitting in here. Center line's doing something like this. This leg is like, okay, two can play at that game. And the calf is like, no, let's continue, because it's not crazy enough. And then the foot hanging down here. So we are really, like, if there was ever an exercise in using, remember when you're a kid, they'd say, you need to draw, use up all of your paper. All right, yes, yes, teacher. Okay, sacrum, let's find it. We're roughly about here, right? Like, yeah. Sorry, there's going to be a lot of me rambling while I think through this process. And this leg is going away from us. This one's coming towards us. This is going away from us. This music is definitely setting a mood, isn't it? Okay. The scapula sitting up here, as Lulu said, looking like a complete glitch. Sitting there, head of the humerus, about here. Boom, coming down. If this is here, that hand is about here. Wow, that music was intense. I thought we'd summoned the demons. Okay, then this arm, yeah, the wrist is about here, right? Yeah, we could not really be using any more of this real estate. And I would, in the interest of just, you know, making life difficult for you, I would try at least, if I would say this, draw smaller by all means so you can get everything on, but if you're consistently drawing too big and drawing off the page, I would strongly encourage you to address that and really try and make a point of getting everything on the page. I generally draw bigger because I'm trying to focus in on something. But if you're starting out on this journey, or you're still kind of finding your way, I'd strongly encourage you to try and get the whole form on the page. Okay. So the rib cage is sitting really sitting in here, isn't it? Crazy. See, the breast is coming. Probably a little lower out there. Might have to tweak a few things. I think my measurements are a tiny bit off, but nothing that we can't deal with. I think I can actually pull my scapula up to about here. That will resolve most of those issues. The head of the humerus is there. Come down. Roughly. Um, Sorry, I'm going to address this. Do me a favor, Lulu. I'm going to try at least to... I'm going to try and make you a moderator on YouTube. If it's easy to do. Let's see. Add as moderator. All right, just let me know if that's kicked in. Do me a favor, ban or timeout or whatever as you feel appropriate, if you wouldn't mind. I trust you. Thanks, Lulu. Let me know if you are a moderator. You should be. I'm going to go ahead just real quickly and... Oh, you're retracting. Thanks, Lulu. Appreciate it. Assume you're doing that. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so this leg going away from us. Foot sitting here. Okay. Let us continue. Let's find our butterfly motif sitting in here. I think generally we've been pretty lucky overall with trolls, and people, you know, generally I think we all probably, I would hope anyway, we take a certain amount of pride in this community and, you know, the cohesiveness of it and all of that. And we've been relatively lucky with very few trolls or people just, you know, making inappropriate comments. I find it, I always find just generally, it is so interesting, isn't it, the internet, and just the behavior that people think that they can get away with, or they think is funny, you know, chuckling to themselves. But like, really? To what end? Because you see, the thing is, what they don't realize is they think, oh, it's just a bit of fun or whatever, and it is, like, I guess, if that's your idea of fun. But you end up, you know, it creates ripples. And is that really the kind of internet that you want, where you drive people away? I'll tell you, oh God, this was such an eye-opener. I was reading yesterday about Neil deGrasse Tyson, who I've always enjoyed as a science educator and that. And I was reading yesterday on Reddit about his behavior and what he's like when the cameras aren't on. And by all accounts, not a very nice guy. Which is disappointing, although not entirely surprising, I guess, in this day and age. But I guess he was at some school that had paid for him to come, and one of the students there asked him a question, and they were, I don't know if they were stuttering, they were umming and ahhing as they were asking the question, and he basically chastised them to the point where he refused to answer their question. But he said, if you do that one more time, the umming and the ahhing, you'll lose your option to ask me a question. And they tried their best, and they ended up failing, and he wouldn't answer their question. He was like, next. And I just thought, you know, what an atrocious way to treat someone that looks up to you and is inspired by you. Maybe was the reason that they got into that particular branch of academics. They say never meet your heroes, but what a if it's true, and there seem to be enough accounts to suggest it was true, what a despicable way to treat people and to act as a role model and educator. And shame on him, absolute shame on him for doing that to someone. And I guess my point being is, it's kind of like the troll thing. It's like, they see it as harmless. It's like, oh, it's just so, you know, you need a thicker skin, or you should just be able to take it. And look, I really, for the most part, can take it. But really, you want to drive people away? Is that really your end game with your trolling? You want to prevent something from happening because your small brain can't see the value in something. And I would also argue, Mr. Tyson, you have a rather small brain. If that's true, what was said, you're not a very smart man. You're actually, I would say that it makes you a rather dull blade in a drawer of knives. You need to check yourself, dude, because it's despicable. Some of the things I was reading about him yesterday were absolutely despicable. So there you go. Sorry, rant over. Has Lulu been properly vetted for mod status? As far as I know, Lulu is now... He deleted his messages first. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Lulu. As much as I would have been happy for you to do it, I'm glad that they had the sense to see just, well, who knows what they saw or didn't see. But like, you know, they think it's cute. It's not cute. And the funny thing is, you know, the irony, they have to subscribe to leave a message. And they have to wait. You can't, you have to wait, like, I set it up so you have to wait a few minutes before you can make a comment on here. Really invested in the trolling. It's really sad. Now, if you don't mind, Lulu, I'm going to keep you as a mod. You see that stuff, man. You put an end to it for me. Well, thank you, Mila, with your kind message. You know what it is? I have always, and almost to potentially to a fault, is I can't abide bullies. And when I get the sense that someone's a bully, I'll pick a fight. I will absolutely pick a fight with the bully, and I've done it a few times in my professional life, and probably to my own detriment, because I've done it in a couple of occasions with people that are, let's say, higher up the totem pole in my profession. I just can't stand by and not call people on their bullshit when they start that power tripping stuff. And I've made a few enemies along the way, but I can't do it. I just won't do it. So there you go. Yeah, and so, like, you know, when I read about nonsense coming out of that DeGrasse Tyson's mouth, I'm absolutely picking that fight. Don't care who you are or how smart you think you are. Because you know what? I believe intelligence comes in many forms, and he might be very smart in his particular field, but he's very simple-minded in his actions if that's the way he treats people. So that consequently doesn't make him very smart, does it? So there you go. It's just my 2 cents. Anyway. Yes, Lulu, if you don't mind, I'm going to leave you as a mod. Don't feel any pressure from that. But feel free to exercise that right for me anytime. I trust you. All right, so during all of that ranting, we've just been slowly chipping away here, making progress, hopefully making progress. But yeah, kind of, right? It's about injustice, I hate it too. Yeah. I do tend to draw better when I'm angry. You're right, Margot. Yeah, Lulu's gonna be drunk with power. That's I had a CEO client yesterday tried to shout me down about politics. Yeah, that's tricky because I've been in situations where I've definitely made enemies from speaking my mind and not just sitting silently by while someone bullshits their way through life. I like to call people on it. But you know what, Rick? Well, look, it's tough because losing a client is never easy. But I'm very much in the camp, and look, it's not always healthy, but I'm very much in the camp of I would rather lose a client and maintain my my dignity, let's say, than to stand by and let someone just, you know, think they're getting away with something. Yeah, well, there's a very real chance, Rick, that Lulu will feel the need to block you. It's out of my hands. Lulu does what Lulu wants. I appreciate the support and the donation. Maybe that will help, but then again, Lulu's Lulu. Tough but fair. All right. I thought we'll lash a bit of shade onto this. No bribing Marderick. The mod is absolutely open to bribes. It's part of the business model, I'm afraid. Yeah, ranting. It happens. Come for the drawings, stay for the rants. Alright, this music's gonna have to go because that's unacceptable. Okay. Okay. What is this? Norway, 1986. Stop. Well, a complex pose to be sure. But we managed to get it all on the page, which is a small victory in its own right. Flash flood warning. Number 3 just blew me out my drawing reverie. You're having flash floods right now, Margot? Stay safe, as Lulu said. When I paint, my strokes are always to the rhythm of the music I listen to. Anyone else with the same phenomenon? Well, I'm not much of a painter, but I would absolutely agree that music can influence the way that you draw, at least. I would imagine it's the same with painting, for sure. Okay. Complex pose. All right, so what did we agree? We're 10 minutes to go. My feeling is we skip pose number 5 because it's, once again, well, it's a nice pose too, but it's not a million miles from what we just drew. Although obviously the reverse to some degree. But I'd like to come back to this one, maybe give it some time. Let's move to pose number 6. Okay? Let's do that. Let's move to the last pose. Pose number 5 I will leave up, but we will leave it for today. Because I think we've all done enough challenging poses for one day. We'll do number 6, and let's go 10-ish, give or take. Okay, what's my pencil situation? Imagine drawing with death metal. You know, I'm not, maybe surprise, surprise, or maybe not. I'm not a huge death metal fan. And when I say not a huge death metal fan, I'm not in the slightest bit a death metal fan. In fact, there is probably very little I would rather have playing. But I do enjoy a bit of heavier music, especially loud. Yes, it's true. But death metal's too much. It's the monotony, it's the repetition with death metal I have a problem with. There's not, in my opinion at least, there's not enough dynamic range in death metal to keep me interested. But this is also too much in the other direction. You need something with a little bit of spice. Power metal is much more enjoyable to me. Power Wolf, even oldies like Nightwish are top. Okay, I'm out of my range there. I don't know those, but I'll take your word for it, Lulu. Okay, let's do this, guys. The mole music. Yeah, it happens. It's like Thomas Kincaid. It's kind of like the mole music of art. Why did I just attack Thomas Kincaid? Completely unnecessary, Richard. Why did you go there? Because it was necessary, that's why. If you're going to do irreparable harm to the art world, you have it coming. I'm sorry. Especially with the amount of money that guy's made. Let's not call it art, though. Anyway. Someone's looking over at their Thomas Kincaid painting on their wall right now with a sad face. Sorry. Clavicle. See, this is what this all stems from. That one troll just got me in there, just all riled up. And not even the content of what they said, just the fact that these people exist and that is their value system just boggles the mind. This needs to come down smaller. Alright, what am I doing here? Come on, man. Get it together. This is a disaster. His head is down here. Wow, talk about things crashing and burning all quickly. Thanks, Mila. He passed away, so he's not making any money. Remember James Gunny talking about 2K, where he travelled across the US hopping trains. Were they friends? Was James Gurney friends with him? I think they might have been. I think I may have read something about that. That rings about as college kids. He hadn't gotten to try them. I think that he background painted an animation for a minute before selling out. Yannick trolls who show off their non-existent values. It's fine. You know what, Yannick? We have a bit of fun. Neil deGrasse Tyson would be trolling next week. Oh, that would be... I'm sure it'd be far beneath him. I'd be delighted to tell him to his face what I think of his particular brand of bullshit. All right, this is an absolute mess. I'm gonna have a leap of faith that it's going to fit. It's going to come together. But right now, it's like, what is this? It's like drawing, like, I don't know. Yes, very good friends. Interesting. Well, look, he may have been a delightful person. Not for me to judge. I never met him, didn't know him. So that's certainly fair enough. But come on with the painting. It's enough. But you know, who am I to judge? People like it, I guess. If there's a market for something, I guess. Oh my God, my measurements are so off. All right, we can fix this. We can fix this. Oh, I'm missing some good conversation here. Space money can get you unblocked. Nice. Hello, Penny. Sorry, guys. We've got a visitor. Come here. Hey, come here. Come here. No. Okay. I thought she might get on camera. She does that. She'll just come in just to say hi and then take off again. It's like she's doing roll call. Beautiful little creature. Yeah, what a disaster of a last pose. Another one. So you look at it and you go, oh yeah, it's easy drawing. Easy money. Not the case. Don't get me started on William Magnum though. Who's William Magnum? Let's have a look. North Carolina contemporary artist. Oof. Ouch. Oh. Oh. How dare you, Doug? Wow. Wow. Speechless. That was bad. Wow, you just made the Kincaid stuff look like wow, I don't even know what. No, there's no redeeming Kincaid. But still, that's like Kincaid without any technique. Holy moly. How do you even know that? How does someone like that get enough of a name that you know about them? Holy crap. That's upsetting. That actually hurt. That physically hurt to look at. Okay. Lulu, you may need to ban Doug. No, don't ban Doug, but because we all know Lulu's power crazy now. But good Lord, that was bad. Okay, I got. Note to self, don't click on anything Doug recommends again. I'm on the trend of you like it, you should be able to enjoy it, whatever it is, as long as it's not directly at someone else's expense. You know what? Those are incredibly wise words, Lulu, and you're absolutely right. But that doesn't mean to say you shouldn't call them on it. Yeah. I'm reading your comment, Margot, about the assistance thing. Yeah. Who's the artist we're hating on? We'll look at their work and see what you mean. Go and look at what Doug said there. I'm not even repeating the name. Miro, the painter. Who's Miro? Oh, okay, yeah, stop with that nonsense. Yeah, okay. Just, yeah, okay. You guys, why are you guys trying to hurt me right now? I'm feeling attacked. I come and try and do a nice thing for you guys, and then you go and throw these names at me. I innocently go and look and get visually assaulted. It's not right. I thought we were all friends here. Okay. Well, look, this is a bit of a spectacular flop to end on. It is what it is. Look, this has been a challenging session for multiple reasons. We've learned a few things. Hopefully. It's had its ups and its downs. But then to finish off like that, I don't know, guys. I just don't know. All right. I think we should stop before one of us gets hurt here. Wow. This stream has had everything. I'm leaving it there. This drawing is, there's just sometimes it's just no redeeming. It's okay. We'll keep it for the fire. I'm not even going to leave it on camera because it all fell apart. I'm blaming Doug for suggesting I look at that. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's been a bit of fun. What can I say? What can I say? I think I'm going to be back Monday because I need more emotional damage. Exactly, Lulu. Yeah, bring your horrendous painters links and let's have a laugh. Male model on Monday. I think it's something a little bit different, and I think you're going to appreciate where I'm coming from with this next model. Not our usual fare to some degree, but you'll see what I mean on Monday. How do you keep the drawings that you want to hold on to? I have a stupidly large pile of drawings there, both ones I want to keep and ones that need to end up in the fire. You want to see something, guys, quickly? Hold on. You see this? This is the stream drawings so far. There's 1,000, over 1,000 here. It's probably about 1,200 here. There was a point where I was really good and I would sort them by month. So the first year and a half of the stream, everything was really organized. Up until about stream 130, and it all fell apart. So there's over 1,000 drawings in that pile. I probably want to keep 100 and something of them, and the rest will probably end up in the fire. So yeah, I got to go through it. It's not impressive, it's horrendous, and I'm terrified of that pile of drawings. That's just the stream drawings, and there's all the others. So I don't know how I go about saving them. And then I've got tubes full of drawings as well, that from demos and all kinds. I don't know. Sometimes I think it'd be best to just throw a match at all of them and walk away. Yes, fire. Fire is the great equalizer of drawings. And I got to say, I went to a Michelangelo exhibition in London about 3 weeks ago, and maybe I should save this rant for Monday. Okay, this is controversial, but talk about a series of drawings that should have been sent to the fire. Drawings that I'm sure he would have had an absolute heart attack if he'd known that they would end up in a museum, presentation. And it was actually quite a eye-opening experience, because obviously I'm a big fan and all the rest. Just absolutely some of the worst drawing I've seen. There, I said it. So yes, the fire is a very good idea, and I would like to think that I will have an opportunity to burn the big offenders before I leave this earth. Anyway, guys, it's been real. The weekend is upon us. Have a fantastic weekend wherever and whatever you may be doing, and yeah, look after yourselves, guys. Really, it's been fun, and I will see you all next week. Yeah, Monday. Let's do Monday. Why not? What else would we be doing? All right, guys. Cheers. Take care. Bye now.